Welcome, welcome to Moments of Truth with Susan Kerby here on Positive Awakening. I just love these moments where we get to be together, and we've been playing with speaking our truth. We were looking at the last 2 weeks about when you speak your truth. It's about honoring your God-given gifts and bringing our well-trained talents together. And there's still a piece of the puzzle missing. So like, if you know, I'm watching my shadow, so I'm just going to take the glasses off. So when you look at your God-given gifts and you look at your well-trained talents, like those are awesome little pieces we put together about who are we and what are we here for, right? Like we're ready to speak our truth. But there's a third piece we're going to talk about today that's really missing. And that's like, are you willing to answer the call? Because I say everything in our life has been preparing you for this moment. I had a coach once who told me, I've been preparing my whole life for this. And the answer is no, I've never been preparing my whole life for this. My life has been preparing me for this moment. So we look and see, where has that been? And we looked at the gifts God gave you, like the ones where you're like, sometimes you're more gifted than others, or you see things, or you hear things, or you just have certain, innate abilities. And then there's the part where you went out and got trained in something. You gained some, what I call well-trained talents. And it can be from random acts of study, from an actual study, or random acts of, oh, I just had this job and look what I got over here. But the question is, what has that been preparing you for? I don't know about you, but I've always felt my life like I'm being groomed for something. And when I looked at life like that, like I'm being groomed for something, it was kind of like, but what? And that one question of like, okay, what? Why? Why me? What about this? That's actually such a great question. You know how many of us, we ask, why me? Why me? Why me? But sometimes those why me questions really get you into, why me? What am I being called to do? So the first way to even consider being available for this calling, like we've all, well, I say we've all because I all, and maybe you all, have been wanting to know why, what am I here for? What's my calling? Is there a calling? Am I being called for something? And I say, if we look at your life and we look at you've been being prepared for, you see, you actually are being called for something. And maybe it's being called to be a mom. Maybe it's being called to be a world changer. We change each world in little ways, right? So it's not about that you have to go out and, bring peace to the Middle East, although that'd be lovely. It's the piece of, where do we start? So anyhow, I digress. When you go back to being available to the call, is just even that little bit of wondering, what do you think? Is there somebody calling me? When I was in Medjugorje, and you can go back and listen to those stories of when I first got called. Mary, the Virgin Mary, has been appearing in Medjugorje since 1981, I believe. And all of her message ends with, thank you for answering the call. And I remember thinking, thank you for having called, because I really felt called there. But one of the things she said for your non-believer friends, just ask them to spend 5 minutes a day contemplating the God they say does not exist, and that's enough. And I recognized when I was in Medjugorje, I had spent more than 5 minutes a day contemplating the God I was sure did not exist, and I got called. So my invitation to you is to contemplate for 5 minutes a day the calling you might be asked for. Okay, God, what do you want from me? What are we being prepared for? So the first part of being available for the call is being willing. That piece of, okay, all right, I'm willing to consider I'm being called. And then you actually have to spend time listening. You actually have to spend time kind of wondering where the answer is. So that's what I call being aware. That piece of, okay, what are the messages you're trying to give me? Where are you trying to direct me? And then when you actually get a sense of where you want to be or where you might be going, it's going to take a risk on your part, because you know what? It's not comfortable. You're going to actually have to be bold and step out if you really say yes to this calling. Because, miracles happen outside the comfort zone. I don't know if you know, there's like a little Venn diagram, a little circle where they call this the comfort zone. And then they have a little picture over here, way over here. That's the miracles. And it's like, here's the comfort zone, and that's where miracles happen. So it's going to take stepping out. And with that, as you go to be bold, you're going to ask why. And I'm going to ask you, kind of a rhetorical why not. But I don't really mean why not like, well, why not? I mean, like, what's it cost you if you don't? What's it cost you personally if you don't get to be who you were meant to be? I know for me, I just had that kind of empty, like everything I did was fine. But when I'm really doing the thing I'm called to do, working with messengers, God had said to me, I'll bring you my messengers, you have them be good. That's a pretty big message of my calling. And so now I work with speakers and entrepreneurs and people who are trying to get their message straight. And I don't mean their message, I mean the one they've been asked to deliver. And when I do that, it's just like, yay. Okay, so there's first my cost, but then there's the cost to the people who are in the dark waiting for you, right? If you don't shine your light and show up, they actually are left in the dark. And, if I look at all the people I've worked with in the last 10 years who have become messengers in their own right, and then I look at all the people they've been serving. One of my clients, she's a self-storage woman, and she loved being in self-storage, and that's her business. But then she came to me and we were talking, and we really found out what was meaningful to her is helping women become queen in their lives. And I said, well, why don't you do a little queen making experience and set up having women come together. She's been doing that for 3 or 4 years now. And she quotes the Bible. She quotes, she really uses all of her gifts and makes such a contribution to these women in her world. And I'm like, I've been a part of that community. And I look and I go, what would happen if I didn't say what I said and she wouldn't have gotten where she was? And then the people who she's serving, as I'm watching them blossom, wouldn't be being served. So there's those ripple effects for your people, whoever it is that's waiting for you to shine your light and be your bold self and answering your call. And then when I look at that, what does it really cost the world if we are all not being our best selves? Like, as I said, there's my client who then has her clients and we look at the difference, and we're now really not clients, we're friends. And everybody in her community is a friend. And these people come together and we all rise together. So it's like the world is rising up together when we shine our light. And if we don't answer our call, it's okay. The world will go on. Nothing dramatic's going to happen. But as I say, when you go to speak your truth, it's no big deal, just the future of the world. And I invite you to really kind of look at that piece of who am I and what I've been being trained for? What have I been being prepared for? Okay, God, if you are calling me, what are you calling me for? And as I said, if you just follow Mary's advice, just 5 minutes a day, okay, God, what do you want from me? Where are we going? What do you want? It's enough to start to get the guidance, but you have to then be aware. You have to be aware of when the little messages are coming. They don't all come in like a 2x4. They don't all come in like, I'll bring you my messengers, you have them be good. Sometimes it's just like, why do you keep putting this person in front of me? What am I supposed to do with this? Those little synchronicities in life. That's when you go, oh, okay, here we go, God, what are we doing with this? And then again, you actually have to be bold and step out. I was looking for a business. I wasn't really looking for a mission, I would say. And it takes something to live this. And as much as we've been growing this Positive Awakening Facebook page, you never saw my face until about a month ago. Because, it was comfortable in the comfort zone just to say, hey, here's a great little quote. Hey, here's something I've said, or here's something Oprah says, or, putting all those things. But to actually put my face out here and connect with you all, that's bolder and a little more risky. And I'm loving every minute of it. And I can't believe I've waited this long to connect with you. So if you'd like to connect with me further, we have a Facebook group we've started called Awakening to the Miraculous. And I also have a live event that I'm doing on Zoom in September 23rd through 25th. And the whole 3 days, which is starts at 9 a.m. Pacific, is going to be on speaking your truth. And we're going to give you opportunities to actually connect to your truth. What is my truth? What might I be being trained for? Like all these things we've been preparing you for in this, we're going to be diving into deeper in speaking your truth. And if you go to the link that Sophia is going to post, it'll say the event is $297. But if you use the coupon 200, so 200, capital O, capital F, 200 off, it's $97 for the 3 days to be with us. So if you're being called, and the people around you who are waiting for you are tired of waiting for you, and you're ready to be bold, come play with us. Yeah. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your gifts. Thank you for your talents. Thank you for your boldness. And I often acknowledge my community thank you for having the audacity to make it your business to get your message out to the world. Because I know this is not the easy road. But the easy first step on that road is speak your truth. Come play with us. Thanks. Have a great day.